and you enjoy while you're watching, you can use this video. That sentence is the hardest sentence to say. Alright, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is where I try out a new foundation every single Friday on my channel. I look like I'm straight out of the 80s right now. Don't really know what happened. It was inspired by this very legit Romway shirt. Please hold. Colorado. Model of Noe. I kind of like it. I kind of just want to see how many people notice in real life. Good old Romway. Let's talk about foundation. So today for Foundation Friday, I'm going to be trying out the Fenty Beauty new Pro Filt'r Hydrating Longwear Foundation. The Fenty matte foundation looked absolutely horrendous on my skin, so I was super excited they came out with the hydrating foundation. Hell yeah. So this foundation retails for $35. You get 1.08 ounces of product and it comes in 50 shades. The shade range in here is exactly the same as their matte foundation. So since I didn't like that foundation, I didn't try and find like a perfect match in it since I originally got one that was way too light. So I just kind of guessed, and I have 120 here, and then I also have 150. 120, just gonna tell you, is the one I ended up using, and the 150 one is definitely way too dark. This would be like my self-tanner shade. So here's 150, here's 120. I think the undertone of this is probably closer, but this one looks too dark. Quick description: hydrating, medium to full coverage for all skin tones. Perfect for normal to dry skin. The finish says it's supposed to be natural, not dewy. They literally say not dewy. There's grapeseed oil in it. It also has a sweat and humidity resistant formula. Doesn't clog pores or settle into fine lines. Light as air texture that's undetectable on your skin. And it is 100% cruelty free. Okay, so those are the claims. I'm going to insert swatches here so we can see what the shade 120 looks like next to my other foundations. Alright, so swatches. Right here is the Fenty Hydrating Foundation in the shade 120. Next over is the Urban Decay New Stay Naked Foundation in 20NN, which is a pretty close shade match for me. I would say like this is one of the closest I've ever found. Next over is the Fenty Matte Foundation in 110. So I just wanted to include that for a comparison, but the shade is way too light for me. Here's Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation in the shade 1, and NARS Natural Radiant Foundation in Mont Blanc. So if you're excited for Foundation Friday, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so it is 8:41 when we're starting this. I have a good old zit right literally on my lip. Don't you love it when that happens? So I think what I'm going to do is use the Fenty Hydrating Primer. This is also a new launch from them. Retails for $32. I think I'm going to use this on half my face just to see if there's any kind of difference. So if you're new here, I have dry skin. So these products are right up my alley today. I'm going to put it right between my eyebrows, but I'm going to keep the primer on this side of my face. So it feels super thin. It feels like a thin gel almost, but like silky. I thought it was gonna feel kind of more like milky and lotiony, but it just feels like a really thin gel. It actually kind of feels like the Catrice Fresh It Up Aqua Primer. So I'm gonna give that a couple minutes to sink into my skin before we go in with the foundation. I'm gonna shake it up just in case. So it comes in a squeeze tube packaging with a pump. So the primer feels like it's kind of sunk in. It doesn't feel slippery, but it doesn't feel tacky. So like usual, I'm gonna start out on this side of my face with a brush. It's supposed to be medium to full coverage. Oh, I actually think this shade is going to be perfect. My face is way darker than my neck, so sometimes it looks like it's going to be off, but then once I actually have it on, it matches really well. Spreads pretty far. Like, I didn't have to dip back in for my forehead. I'm definitely going to have to use a sponge to smooth over right here because it looks like it's clinging to some stuff. Okay, so I do see some dryness right here. When you first put it on, it looks like it's going to be a little bit streaky, and then you just have to really work it into your skin. So usually with those kind of foundations, if I go over it with a sponge, it really helps out with the finish. But so far the coverage looks good. It looks like it's solid medium coverage on that one layer. I do like the coverage. I think I could probably hopefully build this one up just in certain areas. But let's try the sponge on the other side. Okay, so that is getting virtually completely soaked up by the sponge. I just used that whole pump. It literally just soaked right up. It looks pretty patchy, and it's just soaking it all up. So I don't think a sponge is the way to go with this one. I'm going to put it on with a brush and then smooth out my whole face with a sponge. I think that'll work best. Wait, what is happening? Oh my god, I just put on the primer. Okay, I pumped out foundation. The sponge soaked up foundation, but then I just put on a friggin' primer over top. I need to put this somewhere else. I just pumped that out and put it on. Okay, I only put that like right here. Wow. Let's take the foundation. So the sponge did soak that up because I first had a pump of the foundation on, not just primer. Yeah, you can see when it first goes on, it gets pretty streaky. You just have to really work this one into your skin. Okay, so this one doesn't seem like it would be a really quick foundation to apply if you were like in a rush. You definitely need to take your time blending this one. It is clinging to some dryness. I have a little bit of dryness right here on my upper lip, and it's clinging right there. And then on this side, I have some on my upper lip as well. My nose, it doesn't look good at all. It looks super dry on my nose. It's clinging weird, which I don't usually have. And then right here on my eyebrow, where I guess I have some dryness. And a little bit over here too. So this one is clinging to some dryness. But let me see once we go over it with a sponge if it does anything. So I'm going to dip in a little bit to see if we can build it up and smooth it out with a sponge. It's looking better with the sponge for sure. I still think it's kind of clinging a little bit to certain areas. So if you have like super dry skin, even though this one feels hydrating and looks hydrating, it does cling a little bit, but it looks way better now that I've gone over it with the sponge. So I don't think this one is really buildable to full coverage. I would say it's buildable to high medium coverage. It still looks like skin, like I can see freckles coming through on my forehead. I can see some stuff coming through down here, but it does look like I have some coverage. And overall right now it looks nice. I'm a little concerned about those like dry areas in my upper lip, and it feels like it doesn't really set down. So you would need to set your face if you're going to blend stuff on top. So I'm going to do what I usually do and just set right here and up by my hairline so it doesn't rub off. I like the amount of dewiness right now. I think it looks really pretty and healthy. It does look really just like plump. I think this one versus the Anastasia one I reviewed last week, this one looks much more plump. It makes your skin look healthy, except when you get up close, that's when I see a little bit of clinging. Primed side versus not primed side, I think looks exactly the same right now. We'll see if there's a difference in how it wears, but just on initial application, yeah, I think it looks literally exactly the same. So right now it's 8:55. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and we'll be right back. So it is 9:33. It took my sweet time on my makeup today, but the check-in time is 9 o'clock since that's when I finish up with my face. Right here, set totally fine, but one thing I noticed on my forehead is that it looks super dry up on my hairline. I thought the powder would help that because usually when I put on my powder right there, it almost like smooths everything out and melts everything together. And then also on my nose doesn't usually look this dry. I had to go over my nose a couple times with my sponge as I was doing my makeup. Around my upper lip looks pretty heavy and it looks really dry around here. I'm starting to crease already. That's kind of where we're at so far. I do like the shade. I think from far away, it looks fine, at least in this lighting. We'll see how it looks in natural lighting. From far away, it looks nice. Like, it looks like I just have a dewy kind of plumping foundation on. It's just when I get really up close that I see those things. So we'll see how it looks in natural lighting in a second. But the makeup on the rest of my face, you guys, this palette, this is the first time I used this. Holy crap, this is amazing. This is the Wet n Wild Pac-Man limited edition palette for like $5 or whatever this is. I mean, it's Wet n Wild. The blue shade in here was freaking insane. I also used this shade. The blue was like one of the best matte blue shadows I've used. When this video is going up, I'm pretty sure on Monday, I did a first impressions video on Nabla Cosmetics. So I used a few things today from that. I mixed these two shades and I've done that a couple times so far and I really like it for bronzer, just when I want like nothing too intense. And then for blush, I used the Kylie Kitten Baby. I really like this if I want just kind of a more like matte peach blush, super pretty. Becca Moonstone is what I put on for a highlight. By the way, as I was doing my eyeshadow, I had black right at the end when I was like adding some more fall right here. So I tried to like get it away, but I feel like I kind of look like I have a black eye right there. Best I could do. It is what it is. For lipstick, I used AOA Fleek. This is one of my favorite liquid lipsticks, and it's $1. And then I topped it off with the CoverGirl Dolce de Leche cream. I like using this to lighten. So I always do a flash test, 10-hour wear test, and a shot in natural lighting. So let's go see what it looks like there. All right, we are in front of the window in natural lighting. It actually looks quite a bit more makeup-y. It looks good on camera from far away. I'm gonna zoom in. It's weird. It like looks a little bit cakey, and then it definitely picks up on dry patches, like I said. The description of this said it was lightweight and be good on fine lines. I definitely don't think that's the case. This doesn't look like a smoothing foundation to me at all. It's almost like emphasizing everything. This looks like how some foundations look on me at the end of the night. Yeah, just for being on for not even an hour so far, it is not looking the best. There, I feel like you can really see what I'm seeing. If you have textured skin, I just don't think this one looks like the most flattering. This I would say has a comfortable cream, like moisturizing, hydrating kind of finish, but it definitely doesn't feel super lightweight if that's what you're going for. So we'll see how this one wears, but let's do a flash test. There doesn't seem to be a bounce back. Whoa, my hair looks wild. But yeah, it looks okay in flash. Wouldn't say my makeup looks like fantastic or anything today. I'll see you guys back in natural lighting in a few hours. Okay, so it is now 2:01 and I just literally walked in the door when my alarm for this check-in went off. But I had on sunglasses because I feel like I look a little terrifying right now. Between the makeup and the hair, I don't know, I just look like wild. So I had on sunglasses and there is marks there, but that happens to me with pretty much any foundation. Let me zoom in. Okay, this camera's having lots of issues focusing right now, but I think you can see the tip of my nose there. It's like rubbed off. It looks super dry on my nose. And then I have pretty intense creasing for 5 hours in. Around here, my face looks pretty dry, and I wouldn't say the primed side, which is this side. Oh God, it looks so rough around my nose. I wouldn't say this side looks any better than the not primed side, so I don't really think that makes a difference. My forehead looks pretty rough. It's making my skin look way more textured than it actually is, and also just like dry. It seems like it's separating a bit right here, and it looks super dry right here, and it's very bizarre. Keep in mind, like I always say, foundations truly look totally different on different people's skin. My good friend Mallory1712 on YouTube, she loves this foundation. She was like raving about it when she came to visit me, and I was so excited to try it, and it looks like crap on my skin. So just goes to show you that doesn't mean one person's right and one person's wrong. Products literally just look completely different on different people, so people have different opinions on them. Makes sense. But for me, on my skin, if you have similar skin to mine, this one might not work for you. If foundations that typically don't work for me work for you, you might love this one. But right now, this is a definite no. It looks pretty awful. I feel like when it's far away like this on camera, it doesn't look as bad. I was really hoping that this one would work better for me than their other foundation. By the way, update. So the Makeup Burritos Coffee YouTube sweatshirts, there's a few of these left. So if you wanted to get one, we're not gonna be restocking these, so there's a few left in certain sizes, so I'll have that link down below. Also, if you pre-ordered the Heck Yeah t-shirt, those have shipped, so thank you to everyone who ordered. You guys seem to really like that design, so that was exciting. And by the time this video goes up, hopefully there's still a few more in stock. We're getting low on the stock in those too, but those are limited edition. They're not gonna be restocked or anything, so if you wanted a Heck Yeah shirt, down below. I'll see you guys in the next check. Okay, hallelujah. It is 7:33. It's been on for over 10 hours and I can wash my face after this check-in. It just looks rough. Let me try and get accurate lighting here. So basically it's broken down even more than the last check-in. I feel like it just looks like an oily something on my forehead, like a tinted moisturizer or something, but it's like almost disappeared in certain parts. Like you can see all the redness. It just isn't really on my face anymore. And then, oh, dude, is this for real? I'm breaking out from something. It's like fully broken down around my nose, on my nose. My upper lip looks super cakey, dry. And then it just looks so bad on the skin. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at that. Grody. Around my pores, it looks pretty oily. It looks like it's like lifted up. I don't remember the last time my nose has looked like this. My nose is usually a place that foundation holds up totally fine throughout the day. Like everywhere else on my face could be fully broken down, but usually my nose is okay, and my nose looks god awful today. So this one is a hard pass. I would go with the Anastasia one over this one. Still didn't like that one. Like I think they're just better options, but this is like, whoa. But this is just my experience with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out on my skinned prime side versus not prime side looks, I think, exactly the same. I don't think there's any difference. I have a couple videos pre-filmed that are coming up after this, and we do have a winner coming, so stay tuned. I know the past few have been like bad, but that's just how it works out when you test a lot of foundations. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Foundation Friday is every single Friday. I literally cannot wait to get in the shower right now and wash my face and like put on a face mask. Can't wait, can't wait. Okay, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. Is this upside down? Yeah.